We're doing coach interviews with Team Cold's coach. Say hello, Harume.
Hello.
Oh, that was just creepy.
Good.
All right. I hope you're not like that this entire interview.
We'll see.
What do you think is your team's greatest weakness?
Oh, greatest weakness. Nappa.
Okay. He's not on the field, though.
He's still letting us down.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. That's fair. What's your goal for the season?
To win the bowl, like everyone else's.
That's a big goal. I mean, some teams were like, I just want to get into a Kai. I just want to get a positive record. I just want to, I'm going to win. It's all mine. All right. Scariest team to face?
Scariest team to face? Huh. As in this season or in general without looking at this season? I would have said the Vowels if it weren't for GT Goku being way OP and just annihilating my team. So I'm going to go with Rugrats.
Fair enough. That melee is absolutely the most insane melee in the game.
Doesn't help that King Cold's melee is kind of slow.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku hits like a freight train. So it's fast and... What's the hardest team to build for? So unlike Scariest, this doesn't need to frighten you. It could just be a team that has a character or something about them that's hard to plan for.
Huh. Hard to plan for. I honestly want to go with Derp because Devilman I can almost guarantee every season will be in. And it's just a matter of the fact of, okay, which heavy hitter do we not want in against Devilman? And Devil might be, because that ultimate just...
Yeah.
Every time. It's difficult to plan around that because you don't know if he's going to be throwing out all of the Devil Might beams or all the Demon Fork rushes.
Yeah, and it's like a instant lose a character B2 or alt.
Ultimate, yes.
Yeah.
It takes us down to, I want to say 1 bar, no matter what.
Yeah, it's like 30-something K on your characters. What made you want to be a part of this league, and why did you become coach?
What made me want to be a part of this league? I want to say I was co-hosting a stream with Piff and Burn. And I was still part of Naruto League at the time, and Piff asked me if I was part of any DBZ League teams. I'm like, no. Then Burn mentions, oh, you should join Team Cold. They don't have any supporters. I'm like, all right, I'll join Team Cold. Why not? And then when the fiasco of, what was it, Season 5? Or was it Season 4?
It was after Season 5 it ended.
It was after Season 5. Okay, so
yeah,
after that fiasco, I'm like, why not? Let's see. And I just tried out, and I got the part, so...
Oh, okay. So, basically, it's Burn's fault for you being like this. Good to know.
Maybe.
All right.
Zero was a big influence as well on that.
Ah, right, but...
Especially with the evilness. We still do have a lot of eggs to go through for initiations.
Let's move on to the next question. Regarding your team in specific and more, let's talk about base form Cooler. He was not really something you guys looked at last season, from what I remember, and now he seems to be performing even better than the final form.
If you're talking in regards to testing,
I'm talking in regards to the season. He seems to be, well, maybe not better than final form, but he seems to be pretty good.
He's doing pretty consistently on this difficulty. We didn't really look into him in base form much last season because I believe this season, the off season between 6 and 7 was mainly third form Frieza, much to my annoyance.
Hey, you're gonna use third form Frieza next season, right?
Sure. We'll see.
You need the savior.
We'll see.
Right. So, has base form Cooler been a plus? Are you looking to keep him next season?
Uh, I think so. It depends on the off-season testing if we can find a better build for him on final form, or if base form still works really well. Depends on off-season testing.
That's fair. Your team is well known for their alt spam antics in the past. Has this been a part of your plan this season?
Um, Not as much as last season. With Frieza, definitely, but with Mecha, we've taken him into a more melee defense kind of roundabout way instead of the, glass cannon route we've usually gone with him. Especially since he doesn't seem to like throwing out his ultimate much anymore, so.
Frieza's taking up double duty for that. Like 4 ults a game.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of the whole ultimates and B2s and the new difficulty is known to be more melee dominant, and B2s are obviously less effective because of that. How has this impacted your team, considering your team's past build?
Yeah, well, you saw last season. We decided to try sticking with the same builds we had the previous season, just to
As many
see.
teams did.
Yeah, because they'd worked before.
Yeah.
And as we all know, with my off season between 6 and 7, didn't really get the chance to test what I wanted to test and had to test what supporters wanted to test, which was nothing
The
but
best
third
thing,
form Frieza.
your Lord and Savior.
I wanted to test to see how everyone would do on the new difficulty AI. But nope, third form Frieza was much more important.
He's got fingers. And he points a lot.
They all have fingers.
But he points
and they
a
all
lot.
point a lot.
But he points even more, which is just amazing. It's impressive, actually.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, but this season, you definitely fixed that melee rut you were in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is your favorite part of the league other than the actual matches?
Oh, my favorite part of the league. Oh, that's a hard one. I want to say like the inside jokes we all have and within the Discord forum with, King Cold and Majub.
Oh, God.
Sometimes moving away from the cold ship or wherever the Majins are located. Just, going at it. Like the one time when I believe Majub went elite the one week.
Oh.
Against, oh God, who was it against? The Boos? It was against the Boos. I think it was against the Boos.
It might have been. I don't know.
When Majub went elite, Kaio and I decided that Majub had a fun night with King Cold the night previous. And considering King Cold, I don't think was in that week. They had a lot of fun and just random jokes like that kind of thing. That I want to say is one of the other favorite parts of my league. Or my league.
Your league. It's all yours, Harume.
No one just knows it yet.
Just that freaking Team Cold mentality right there. It's mine. I'm going to own it anyway.
Yes.
What teams grab your interest outside of your own team? So if you were to leave Team Cold.
That would be Majins.
I wonder why.
I just like evil teams. What can I say?
Yes. It has nothing to do with the really unique relationship.
None at all.
All right. What do you think is the key to victory? So some teams go for a balance out everyone, while others go for a glass cannon format. And what I mean by that is when you're looking at your characters, you got your stronger ones and your weaker ones. If any of their Pataras overlap, like you got 4 spammers, a more balance out everything will be. I'll split it up between them to try and give everyone something. But a glass cannon will be shovel all the charge and be 2 Pataras on our best fighters, and then the other ones We'll give them like defense or something. We'll give them the scraps.
I want to say maybe like a mix of that. It's like if you know someone is good at spamming, like say Frieza, he's really good at spamming if he has that key build on. Just put a lot of the key build Pataras on him and some saviors and some bonuses to his supers. And there you go. He's built really well. But we also have our defense characters as well, and then an attack character. So I guess it's like a mixture of both kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense. To an extent, it's glass cannon, but only to an extent.
Plexiglass cannon.
Plexiglass cannon. It's somewhat durable.
Exactly.
Do you think you are adapting well with the new changes that have happened since your first day as a coach in comparison to now? So there's been a lot of changes since then.
Yeah, I want to say I'm adapting pretty well.
Yeah, new difficulty, teams being thrown out, new teams coming in, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've adjusted fairly well. New difficulty was a little bit of a bump because all of our builds decided to stop working.
Yeah, when you're a Bichu heavy team and you go to a more
melee heavy
yeah.
difficulty, it tends to happen.
How do you feel about the changes that have happened over the off season? So we've already discussed a little about the new difficulty, but what about the Super Saiyans drop, the Master Blast bans, the Savior bans? Those things.
Well, I think they're honestly all very fair. I mean, the Super Saiyans being disbanded was definitely a majority thing by like, what was it, 70 to 30%?
Yeah, it was a clear majority.
Or was it? Yeah, it was a clear majority on that. Savior ban, I am glad none of my team was affected.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah. Thankfully, we don't have any cutscene ultimates except for King Cold.
Yeah, but that's
that range is kind of it's really short ranged as well, so we weren't really affected by that at all. Master Blast again didn't really affect us. It will affect us if we ever decide to go with third form Frieza. But that's only if we start with third form Frieza. Say if we start with second form Frieza and he has Master Blast, oh well, guess what? Third form Frieza gets Master Blast when he transforms.
That's a cheeky way of doing it, but I like it. All right. Who would you consider the mule of your team? The one that does a lot, but does not really receive that much credit.
Does a lot, but doesn't receive too much credit.
So Frieza receives a ton of credit. Mecha Frieza will receive the credit if they blow up the planet, that sort of thing. But is there a character on your team that consistently pulls their weight, does their work, helps get the win, but everyone sort of just forgets they're there?
I'd say Mecha Frieza, but everyone knows he's there.
Everyone knows he's there.
So I want to say maybe Cooler, because it may not seem like he's doing much, but he's actually the top ranked person on my team. He's ranked 27th in the league. And then there's Metacooler, ranked 32. 34 is Frieza, 38 is Mecha Frieza, and then King Cold's sitting there at 73. So Cooler is, amazingly enough, our, I guess, most consistent character somehow.
There you go. Yeah, no. Definitely wouldn't look at him and go, yeah, he's definitely the best character on that team.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your division and the competition in it? Do you think it's a tough division to be contending in?
You're talking to the team that beat all their divisionals. Muscle, I want to say we faced them week 3. Let me double check that. We faced Muscle. Yep, week 3. Wasn't too much of a hardship, if I recall correctly. Androids was a bit closer. Valkyries, oh my god. That one had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
That was a fun match.
Because the Friezas just like to dodge things at the very last millisecond. It's just like, stop giving me heart attacks or I will actually kill you. But yeah, I want to say the Valkyries are really the reason it might be difficult to be in this league. Or not league, but the Kai.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you know.
Yeah, it's Kai's
Average.
kind of spread out also.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's an average Kai.
What record do you think your team will end with this season? So it's kind of close to the end. You could probably assume.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say 8-7 or 7-8.
What's your current record?
6-7.
Okay.
So.
A positive outlook on it.
Hopefully we have 8 wins and 7 losses, but you never know with AIs.
Never know. What sort of coaching style do you have? Are builds and lineups done on a tight schedule, or is it more free flow?
I recall describing my schedule with building last season when I was interviewed.
Yeah, you did.
It's definitely a schedule thing. I did adjust it, so instead of Monday, we're doing this, that, and that.
It's Tuesday because of the pullback.
Yeah, originally it was Monday was lineups and the first person.
Right.
Or was it lineups and then the next day was the first person? Yeah, it was lineups and the next day and the next day. With Friday doing the last person, checking over everything, and then putting in our builds. I changed it this season to Sunday we're working on lineups. Monday's the first person. Tuesday's the second person. Wednesday's the third person. Friday or Thursday's the fourth person. And then Friday we're spending all day making sure everything is accurate. There's no illegal builds. There's no triples. There's no 2 defense plus whatevers. And if there are any, adjusting them accordingly. We don't look at them all at once, like when we're working on the person that one day. So we look at them all at the end and adjust from there.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I'd also like to say that every other coach has said, we're more free flow. And because of this, I kept using you as an example of what's scheduled. So I might have known the answer beforehand, but for everyone, that is her answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then again, everyone might have known that answer already. You kept using me as an example.
Yeah, actually, you could just watch anyone's interview and you'll know her answer.
Yeah. I am the only coach that does a schedule, aren't I?
Yeah, you're the only one who does such a tight schedule. Like everyone has their own, like, oh, let's start on the lineup now and we'll do this next and next. But most people don't have it on this day. We do it.
Right. Well, I just do that because I know I do have some people, like, supporting me in England or whatever, so they also have that time window to get their feedback in.
That's
and
smart.
If they don't, well, that's past schedule. We can discuss it if there's any scrutinies on Thursday or Friday.
All right. On to the next question. What was your main objective when you became a coach? Was it to make someone on the team better, have a certain amount of victories? What? Make a meme out of your team?
I believe when I became coach, we were in South Kai. So I guess my goal from that was to get us into North Kai.
Which I think
or
you
at least
did.
East Kai, yes.
Cold has a track record of jumping from top to bottom.
Yes.
A lot.
I'm just glad this past season we just dropped down 1 Kai.
Yeah.
Instead of 4.
Yeah. I remember the entire time Cold was in South Kai season 6. Everyone's like, South Kai is screwed. That is not a fair team to have in there.
I believe that was also the season where we decided, fuck it, Frieza, you're in final form, and then all of a sudden, God.
Oh, yeah, just ults.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Ults for days.
Ults for days. Do you have a favorite moment since you became a coach? Like a particular match that really made you glad you participated in this league?
Isn't that answer obvious?
Well, share it with us then.
It was season 7, week 5 against the Majins. Well, I only have it memorized because I was looking at the schedule from last season while editing for this season. It was the same week. Like, seriously, week 5 we faced the Majins last season, and then this season we faced them week 5 again. Love blossomed on the battlefield. I've never seen King Cold so happy.
He was love struck. couldn't move.
Oh no, he's still like happier than I've seen him since I've been a part of the league. So
Yeah, no. I'd
it's
like.
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, Team Cold has a lot of fun matches just because of that whole ultimate scare. It's like at any moment this match turns around.
Oh
So
yes.
you've got like that derp match, even the Valkyries
Oh
match.
god. Oh yeah, season 7's derp match was also very great.
It was.
Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, I think it was during the Tenkaichi Bowl. It was my birthday. And I got a shout out by the guest stars.
Uh,
Oh, and the chat was like, dude, you lucky bitch. Oh,
that sounds like them.
one of the best days of my life. Just being recognized like that. Oh my god.
All right. Let's move on to the people's questions, because why cast iron people? We don't count as humans. So we'll start off.
You're right,
Nelson.
they're maggots.
Oh wow, really? I'm allowed to say that. You, on the other hand.
I'm
No,
the coach of Cold.
I know. And I'm the coach of Saiyans, which makes this extremely painful for me. No,
Why? Because you're beneath me?
I'm not gonna respond to that. If your question isn't asked and you wrote it, it's because we don't care, and it's probably because we already answered it. So just go back and listen. Yeah. So let's start off with Cindanaz. Dear Harume, Cold hit its stride around mid-season and came back in a big way. What is your opinion? What, in your opinion, is the reason?
I want to say is, as a team, like, start of season 8, we started with the same builds that worked last season. For some reason, the AI is like, nope, not again. But other than that, I want to say we're slow starters.
Fair
It takes us a
enough.
while to build up our stride.
I'd also like to say it's because no more Halo, which I must thank you for, but no more Halo.
That was only 1 week.
I know, and I thank you for that. Your team has quite a few supporters. Do you think that is part of why your building structure works well? I think he's referring to your rogue.
I know what he's referring to. I want to say that would work with even more supporters, honestly.
How many supporters do you have? Let me ask that first.
Active, a small handful.
Which
DJ
is what?
Took a break because we were doing so poorly at first, but there's Shadow Soldier.
Okay.
But he's currently somewhat inactive because his father's in the hospital and his internet went out. So I'm like, dude, take time off if you need it. XMAT7X sometimes pops in. I know Glacier tries to pop in every now and then, but haven't seen him in like a week. But small handful of people.
All right, that's a fair number.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like my schedule would work even if there were more people, because then we would be getting more feedback and discussing a bit more during the day.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the case with most teams. If you got more active supporters, the better it's going to go. His third question. Gold has a reputation that stuck from the old difficulty as ultimates the team. But alt spammers on new difficulty are far and few between. And as it's changed, how much you enjoy building for your team. So do you enjoy building for your team now that it isn't ults galore?
It's about the same.
About the same. As long as people die?
Once you get an idea, yes. Once you get an idea of what builds work for them, it's essentially, okay, we could change these few Pataras every now and then, but it's generally going to be the same.
It's not the method, it's the end goal.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Fair enough. Would you say anyone on your team is typecast, shows little to no potential for a different style build?
Little no potential for another style build.
I mean, you got Mecha who switched builds.
Yeah. Yes, Mecha could easily go back to being a glass cannon, but he would probably not do as well as he is now. Frieza, I want to say, could be an all-around character, so he's got potential everywhere, but we like him spamming his beautiful, beautiful supernovas. We like defense on meta because Android.
Android, aggressive, stay alive.
Exactly. But I can definitely see him working as an attack build as well. maybe a spam build with his, finger blitz barrage, and somehow lock on Buster now.
Hey, if it hits.
Yeah, I mean, it's locking on now more than ever. Cooler, I want to say, could be good with attack builds and as well as super builds if he decides to use Death Charger when he transforms.
I'll say something about that. I've made my comments on Rush B2's well known. I don't think Death Charger connects as much as I expected last season. Just my personal opinion.
It's still connected a fair amount.
Right. It's just the whole Rush B2s in general have a harder time to connect.
Because you have to A, not get hit with a beam, B, not get punched out of it.
A, not get dodged. A, not get blocked.
Not miss completely. Okay, I corrected myself.
I know, but I want to make a joke out of it. All right. Next season, do you have any desire to pick up a free agent?
I wasn't done.
Oh, you weren't done?
I haven't even talked about King Cold.
Oh, he's a character. I forgot about it. Is King Cold typecast?
He might be. We have him on a defense build just so he stays in longer, but with his melee being so slow, it's hard to put him on an attack build. His B2s are...
He has explosive wave.
He has super explosive wave, yes, and he also has full power death beam.
He has a very thick death beam.
It's full powered.
Yeah, it's more like a normal beam instead of like a Dodon ray. Because that thing can clash, right?
I'm not entirely sure.
I could have sworn it could clash.
It might. It might be able to clash.
Yeah. All right.
And I really want to see King Cold's ultimate because we never see that ultimate.
I don't even know what it is.
We've only seen like once in the league. It's Cold Family Power where he and Mecha Frieza just come in and beat the shit out of whoever gets hit. But the range is just so short. It's so hard. So I want to say, yeah, King Cold's kind of typecast.
Okay. On to the next question. Next season, do you have any desire to pick up a free agent with the intent to use him? Picking up Nappa says you won't use him.
Picking up Nappa was a choice of my members. I wanted Nova Shenron, and when I woke up that morning, it was way beyond our price range.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, with my price range with Zenny, I'd like to have at least 20, maybe 15 Zenny left over. Just it is tough, but I like the potential of being I want to be able to have the opportunity to have a double style this strong again.
They're horrible.
Oh, I think you mean amazing.
No, I definitely mean horrible. I
didn't really come into play that much against the Super Saiyans last season, but kind of.
Jeez.
But yeah, like having a lot of Zenny left over afterwards, so we can buy a lot of big money boosts when facing our either last divisional or the divisional. Initially, I thought it was going to be the androids. Nope, Valkyrie's got that, and boy, that was close. But yeah, no, I wanted Nova Shenron. Woke up, it was beyond the amount of Zenny I had in total. I wanted to try and go for. Actually, we did try and go for someone else. I cannot remember who, but that also got beyond our price range. And since no one was trying to pick up Nappa, our team was like, okay, just go with Nappa because no one else is going to get him. I'm like, all right, fine. But I would like to have a free agent where we could potentially swap someone out for him.
Hey, you could swap someone out for Nappa. He's not completely useless.
You know exactly how useless he is. You dropped him yourself.
That may be the case, but still, I'd love to see him fight. He's a fun character. I'll say this. If you used a night map, he could be good. With the right build.
I don't think we'd even be able to use a night map if we had Nappa on our team.
Yeah, you could. You could. The only team that's not allowed is mine. Because we have way too many apes.
Well... way to give that a little tidbit of information away to everyone for next season.
Well, I'm not going to be the coach of the Saiyans next season, so it's not really a big issue for me.
Well,
also, I love to see. I love seeing a balding ape. It's funny. Have you ever seen Appizape? It's hilarious.
I don't recall seeing it recently, so
He has a receding hairline.
I'll need to look up images later then.
Yeah. Some called you the Queen of Cold. Will you apologize to Majub, or do we declare a blood war?
I don't see what I have to apologize for. I'm Queen of Cold, there's King Cold, and there's also now King Majub. Nothing to apologize for, no reason for a bloodbath.
Alright, you heard from her. On to Controlled Chaos's questions. If Cold makes it to the bowl, who do you expect to face, and why?
Oh, if we make it to the bowl, let's see. Probably the Rugrats will be our first playoff match if we manage to beat the Androids and the Valkyries. Majins are derp. Maybe the Saiyans.
Hey!
Maybe the Saiyans.
Hey! That'd be a great rivalry. Alright. If you don't make it to the bowl, who do you think will beat you?
Probably the Valkyries.
Probably the Valkyries.
Probably the Valkyries.
That's a fair assumption. How much time is normally spent working on builds?
Given my schedule and the lack of supporters, I want to say not too long, really. If we finish, I want to say if we didn't have my schedule and we just went free range, I'd give it probably a few hours, be like, okay, here's this. All right, no one said anything. Okay, great. Here's this one. A few hours pass. I want to say we don't generally spend time because after I approach to like, okay, how about we have this lineup? Everyone generally agrees. We can move on the next day. How's this lineup? Okay. How's this? Double check everything. Oh, there's 3 of this and 2 of that, which need, or 2 blues and 3 yellows, etc., etc. And we just fix them and then we're done.
All right.
Honestly, if I wanted to, we probably could get these done in one day if we really wanted to. So not that long. I just have my schedule and I like it. So people who, live in other time zones have the opportunity to have their 2 cents put in.
All right. His last question. If Chilled or Frost were brought into the league, would you change your lineup for one of them?
I have not seen Super, so I don't know how those 2 play. Oh, wait, I know Chilled from seeing the DBZA movie.
He's got Fisher Slash in that movie. It's like a sort of thing. I don't know.
Maybe not for Chilled, but maybe for Frost. I think, wasn't he the assassin?
He was a fighter that cheated by poisoning his opponent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe for Frost. Because I like his style.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, okay. And
give King Cold a little break so he can spend all of his time with his lovely husband.
All right. On to the last of the questions from the Dark End Star. First, I was going to ask what Cold and Majub sound like at night. Why ask that? What is wrong with you?
Well, considering I have a whole half of the ship to myself, as that is the girl side, I personally don't hear it. But from what I hear with Cooler and Frieza's, both the Coolers and both the Frieza's ranting to each other because they couldn't sleep that night. Very loud from both of them. And a lot of words exchanged that I will not repeat.
And what is wrong with you for answering that? Okay. On to...
all of the things, clearly.
Yes. On to the last question. In a more serious note, what teams are you most worried about in the postseason?
In the postseason, definitely the Valkyries. Rugrats, because GT Goku OP, definitely nerf. Not please, I'm ordering you to nerf him. Derp mainly because Devil Might Beam. Saiyans because they've been pretty good, and Majins because it breaks my heart to see those 2 lovers fight, and Kaio and I made
You made a what?
Kyle and I made a deal or promise of sorts that every time we face off, two lovers are gonna fight in hopes of breaking the game again and them fighting.
Oh, man. Well, if you do face the margins, you get 3 full fights for that to happen.
Fingers crossed then.
Fingers crossed. Alright, and before we end this, do you have a message to any undecided people who are looking to join a team?
As Team Cold, we are all assholes, so you have been forewarned. And I do like to keep my schedule so nice and strict. I may sometimes forget Sunday is a thing, so I'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I forgot to do this yesterday," but I usually get back up. Let's see, assholes. Schedule is kind of strict. Oh yeah. Don't mind the velociraptor, the genetically modified velociraptors and genetically modified sharks.
Those are still around?
Yeah, we also have a new addition, a megalodon that can survive in space.
These are totally things that would make people want to join. All right. I just want to give you a nice little golf clap because you're the first coach to actually plug their own team. Everyone else was really humble and said, "Oh, join the best team for yourself." So thank you for being the only coach to actually
be honest.
That and actually do what the question was meant for in your own weird way.
I try.
Yeah. No, seriously, you're the only person to do that, and I'm gonna assume you're the only person who will do it at all. So, congrats on that.
And a little warning. Mm-hmm. Don't rickroll the cold forums.
Don't rickroll.
Shadow learned that the hard way.
I was gonna say that sounded like it had a story behind it.
I'll tell you later if you want. It has nothing to do with builds.
Sure. I'd love to hear. Alright, that's it for the interview, guys. That's Harume. We'll see you guys. Yeah, bye.